95.7 The Game breaking news.
We've been waiting for this. Major League Baseball has released an official statement. MLB has been gathering information since we learned about the allegations involving Shohei Ohtani and Ippei Mizuhari from the news media. Earlier today, our Department of Investigations began their formal process investigating the matter. So the official Shohei Ohtani investigation has been launched and is underway.
All right, game on. I told you it was the first inning.
On to the second inning.
On to the second inning. Why do we have that horn on the breaking news? It sounds like we're at a spring break club with like shot deals.
Because, yeah, who doesn't like to feel that way? Like blow a whistle in your ear and, it makes the shot go down easier. Yeah.
My son just texted me.
95.7 The Game.
It is funny when the breaking news is bad and it feels like we're celebrating. We're like, oosh, oosh. Steph Curry broke his ankle.
Yeah.
Oosh, oosh, oosh. Yeah, it's kind of weird.
Like, anyway. Where's the shot girl with like shot specials and the green shots in a test tube to go with the breaking news?
Anyway.
What is that?
Anyway, the social media just absolutely lit up.
Yeah, my son just texted me.
Yeah, the official investigation is underway. And so I just, here's how I translate that. And I'm sure you do the same. There's sort of a pre-investigation investigation. In other words, they're not launching an official investigation unless they poked around a little bit and found out that an investigation is necessary to go much deeper into this.
Or it's eyewash. And while we investigated it, we found nothing. But there would be pressure for them to do this, so they have to do this.
Well, they have to do something.
That's what I'm saying.
They could not sit there and go into the weekend, and it is very, very not lost on me. MLB is a New York operation. And tell me again, what time did this news come out?
5:57 p.m.
Oh, gee.
East Coast time.
2.5 minutes before 6 o'clock. Rob Manfred just ran to his car.
On a Friday.
Exactly. So they knew since 3 days ago, Friday at 6 o'clock, just boop, we've launched the investigation. Because you're right, it's also that. It's their way of saying, yep, we heard. and like, we're not going into the weekend to say nothing, but we're also going to tell you that we're like, we got it, but we're not saying anything for a while.
It's a Friday news dump is what it is. But
of course,
in order to clear Ohtani and cover for Ohtani, there has to be an investigation.
You got to do it.
Because if they do nothing, then we're going to talk about it for 3 months every day.
Well, the speculation is going to kill this whole thing because you know this, that perception becomes reality.
Yes.
And right now, here's what's real on the streets in terms of like fans, okay? Just Bob and Joe sitting around as they get beers tonight and talking. I bet Steiny and Goo are over at Old Ship doing this right now. You're sitting around, if you're a sports fan, there's 2 words, and that's it. There's only 2 words in this entire story that the average person is gathering. Word 1, Ohtani. Word 2, gambling. That's it.
Right.
That's it. The depth of the story does not make it down the street and around the corner. It's like the little game in kindergarten. Whisper in the ear of the person next to you and have it go around the room and see what it is at the end. And the word tomato will turn into orange by the time it gets around the circle. And that's where we are. Like, we are way too distracted. Nobody's sitting down to read not nobody, but you get what I'm saying. And so all that anybody is really hearing is Ohtani and gambling. And baseball cannot have that, does not like that, and needs to dive into this thing. For me, though, where it goes next is now, does the accountability and the accuracy and everything really get held to a standard? This is where reporters really need to kick in. Because if Major League Baseball is truly going to do an investigation, I know where my mind goes first. We've talked about it a ton the last 3 days. So where's that recording of those wire transfers? Because it has to exist. Let me hear it. Whose voice is on there? Let's go. What did you hear in the tapes of that wire transfer? There's no way that you're transferring $4.5 million through a wire without a paper trail and a vocal trail. So you're actually going to investigate this? Or is it like you're sort of insinuating, let's just put a big sticker over the door and say we're out for the weekend, we heard, and then hope that, again, like baseball always does, let's just wait 5 days and 7 days and 14 days, and maybe everyone will forget.
It's impossible.
It's impossible
with this guy?
Because it's their biggest name.
It's impossible.
Exactly. It's the face of their league.
I don't even think they can cover it up. In today's world with social media and the reporters digging and trying to make a name for themselves, you can't get away with something nowadays as big as this. You can't. They can't cover this up. They can't. There's no way.
Well, then I would have thought that people in high places would know that. However, I will never believe the story they're telling us now and the way that it came out.
Nobody believes it.
Well, it's the clunkiest thing you've ever seen. And so if you can't hide it and you're telling a lie, then where are we going?
What are you lying about? That's my biggest question right now. What are you lying about?
Well,
I think there's more there here is what I'm saying. What are you lying about?
There for sure is, but to me, you are definitely lying when you say that Shohei was the victim of theft. That's a lie. And it is the exact opposite and stark contrast of the exact story that the same people told 24 hours earlier. When the first time, ask anybody who's ever been a police officer or an investigator. Somebody sits down and tells you a story, and then 4 hours later, they tell you the opposite. You don't send that person home. Why don't you stay right here at the table? I think we've got some more questions.
Dude, the biggest thing I always go back to, Mark, is they were laughing in the dugout in the ninth inning together. Yep. If somebody stole $4.5 million from me, I don't care if I had $2 billion.
And did you see the timeline of events on that? The report is that Shohei knew at that point that there was a gambling issue. He knew that that Ippei had a gambling issue.
He's known that for 5 years.
Right.
They do everything together. If you missed it the other day, there's no secrets in baseball. You live together for 8 months. He's part of the fabric of the team.
It doesn't add up.
He's in the dugout. He's on the plane. He's in the clubhouse. He's on the field for batting practice. This guy's might as well be a player. And if it's your best friend as a player, and I got a wingman, and we go out and drink beers after the game, we hang out, I know everything about that guy. Because we share everything together. We sit on the plane together. We sit on the bus together. I make sure on the road his locker's next to me so we can gossip together. Whatever. We know everything about each other. It's a small fraternity, just being a major leaguer. And then when you have a friend on a major league team that you vibe with, you do everything together. You want to get coffee this morning? Where are we going to lunch today? Beers after the game? Where are we going? What's good in the city? And then you go out with that person. They know about your family. They know about your wife. They know about your kids. They know how your marriage is going. They know if you're talking to somebody. They know everything.
By the way,
I know if he's gambling.
Yeah, and you're speaking to this as a person who would have had language options for that best friend to be someone else. In other words, The reason I bring that up is I think what you're saying is true, but even more so for Shohei, because there was a grand total of one other person who he could even talk to because of the language barrier in that entire organization.
Yeah.
It's not like he could be like, you know what, I really like this Mookie Betts guy.
Yeah, let's go out.
Let's go. Why don't you and I go hang?
But the interpreter has to come with them.
That's exactly.
So
there's only one thing to me that feels believable.
What's that?
And I don't
like he's a good dude?
Well, no, I can't say this because it makes it sound like I know what happened. And I don't. But there's only one scenario to me when you put these pieces together. There's only one that fits. The only thing that feels believable is that Shohei Ohtani tried to pay for his guy, paid off a gambling debt without realizing that in the state of California, a wire transfer to an illegal bookmaker is a crime. He did that and then realized with the people around him, oh crap, that's a crime. So we better recant this whole Ippei to ESPN explaining how Shohei paid off my gambling debt and turn it into a crime. Theft. Shohei had no knowledge. That to me is the believable scenario here. But there's also 1,000 things I don't know.
If there was one payment,
There were 9 payments.
There's 9 payments.
9 payments.
So somewhere along the line of 9 different payments, did it have the time frame in these 9 payments?
No, I haven't gotten that yet.
So somebody's got to step up and go like, bro, you know this is illegal. Like, you know that these payments are illegal. If it was one payment and he didn't know, okay, well, slap him on the hand, whatever the penalty is, $4.5 million, lot of money. But like if you did it once, okay, but like 9 different ones, somewhere along those 9 ones, somebody's got to say like, hey, dude, this is illegal. Do you know this is illegal?
Yeah.
Somebody, like he's not that insulated.
No doubt. No, I know. Not when there's that level of money.
But Mark, when you're that level, you have a financial advisor, you have a CPA, you have everything.